Geeta, would you want to come in with your 2 cents?
I just wanted to add one more point. When we talked about handling or mishandling of the Nepal situation, it was a court directive that every social media platform register itself with the Ministry of Communications. All the Chinese platforms did because, you know, the government is pro-China. It's the American platforms that didn't. So there's a trigger there. Like Rajdeep, we were discussing a little, where I'm coming from.
You're talking about
is the learning. The learning is that when you have social media platforms working in your country, they need to comply with the laws of the land. And in Nepal, certain platforms, mostly all American platforms, did not comply with
the laws. Can I ask both our foreign policy experts a question? Can I ask them a question?
Sir, ask quick question.
Yeah, my quick question is simply this. Is one of the learnings foreign policy? Over the last 11 years, and I thought it was a diplomatic and tactical masterstroke of the Prime Minister in 2014, when at his oath-taking ceremony, he invited all the leaders of the South Asian nations. I thought it was a start of a new dawn. 11 years later, neighborhood first seems to lie in tatters at one level. I just want to ask you, do you believe that we've spent so much of time seeking Western affirmation that we've forgotten what happens in our neighborhood? Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, with which we've repaired elections, we even had Maldives, now we've got Nepal. I'm just asking you, as an observer, from 2014, when we embraced South Asia, have we moved into Western affirmation?
Let's not talk over each other.
I'm just asking you.
Absolutely, and I'm just giving an answer. Let us see the cases of recovery. We thought that we have lost Sri Lanka, but with the fresh election, we have recovered our relationship, and now we have a good working relationship with Sri Lanka. With Maldives, with having Mohammed Muizun still in power, and the guy who actually came to power with India Out campaign has made a turnaround. Look, Bangladesh also. Look, whatever has happened with KP Sharma Oli in Nepal, with his previous term, with Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand with his previous term, and then making a turnaround and making his first visit to India, and even KP Sharma Oli was hell-bent to come to India. In fact, he has agreed to come to Gaya first.
Were we caught off guard?
I would say that we were caught off guard, but what you could have done? It's an internal thing. It was brewing up. The social media ban only became an immediate trigger, Rajdeep, but there was actually, you rightly pointed it out.
I'm going to give,
17 years of democracy,
one second, can I just come in as the moderator? I'm going to give all of you 20 seconds each. I'm going to put the timer. Rajdeep, this is for you.
Okay.
So, I'm going to put the timer. Go ahead.
Rajdeep, that India is seeking Western affirmation. We are not. In fact, we are standing up to the United States of America, and it's the US that has actually made a U-turn on its policy towards India, at least as on date. Point one. Point two, as you rightly pointed out, India's policy towards neighbors was always neighborhood first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Kathmandu, and I was covering that trip, he made it very clear that Nepal has shed blood in every war that India won. It's a civilizational relationship that these two countries enjoy. Now, if KP Sharma Oli wants to, cozy up to China and use the communist China against India, that's his call, not
30 seconds
India's
over.
call.
30 seconds, Geeta.
Well, I think that I agree a bit with Pranay, but I also agree with Rajdeep in terms of were we caught off guard. We might have made recoveries in Sri Lanka, we might have made recoveries in the Maldives, but China still holds sway over how Maldives looks at its foreign policy. So does the Sri Lankan government. And Bangladesh, certainly we've lost ground too. We couldn't have done anything with BNP. Nepal, again, lost ground. So we have to really reassess how we're looking at our neighborhood.
30 seconds.
India has imperfections, no one's suggesting otherwise, but we are a vibrant democracy, which is why I believe there are no lessons to be learned for India from Nepal. Sure, we can watch what's happening, and because they're our neighbor, watch it carefully, but no lessons to learn to me.
Let me now twist it around. And I say, I think the Modi government has learned one thing. When Prime Minister Modi speaks out, for example, against the privileged elite, when he speaks about Garib Kisan, he's understood the kind of vocabulary you need to control some of these restive elements. These restive elements are there across the world, including in this country. But I think we should appreciate the fact that the government at times recognizes that you cannot allow the privileged elite to get away with the kind of power they have. But, and there will always be a but, the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few is something that every country should be worried about, and India is no different. The brazen, conspicuous consumption and concentration of wealth in the hands of a few is something that should worry all of us as
Right.
Indian citizens looking ahead.
All right. So, well, what I do believe is
20
that if
10
not,
seconds.
no time. I have to close and I have to give my 10 seconds.
I'll just say one thing, that with COVID as an example, a virus which started from Wuhan has actually spread the entire world. So now there are lessons for every country to learn from wherever it happens. And yes, with country like India, with such a huge population, with such a
Right.
young population, we also have lessons to
Well,
learn.
I actually feel that, maybe not embrace, but we need to accept dissent and not blame it on a foreign hand, number one. Number two, it's not about, that's what I feel. That's
do
what I
accept
feel.
and embrace
That's what, I don't think so. A huge chunk of us don't do that. That's what I feel. And I also do
That's
somewhere.
the great thing about dissent. You can dissent.
All right. I also, somewhere down the line, do feel that it's not about politicians, it's not about political parties. Democracy and the vibrancy of that democracy lies in strengthening its institutions, which we have. And that's why we are different from any of our other countries around, our neighbors.